Is now actually a good time to buy a home in Central Maryland, or should you wait? If you're relocating to the Central Maryland region, or you're a first-time buyer trying to make sense of this crazy market, you're probably hearing mixed messages. Low inventory, homes are sitting longer, rates are shifting, headlines saying one thing, your friends are saying another. What do you do? Well, folks, I'm Jeremy Weiss, a Central Maryland realtor here with the Helpers Group, and in today's video, I'm breaking down exactly what's happening right now in Central Maryland, and more importantly, whether buying a home now makes sense for you. So let's get into it. So the first thing we want to talk about is let's talk about the reality of what's actually happening in our market right now. So the first thing we want to talk about is inventory. We are still in a relatively low inventory environment as compared to the pre-2020 and pre-pandemic levels. There are not a lot of homes sitting around. Anne Arundel County had only 700 homes for sale Monday morning. But what we are seeing right now is we're seeing higher days on market than we did during those crazy years of 2021 and 2022. So what that means for you is buyers aren't waiving things blindly anymore. They're just not doing it. For sellers, that also means sellers aren't getting 15 offers in one weekend. It means there's negotiating happening in places like Columbia and Ellicott City over in Howard County, Severna Park and Crofton in Anne Arundel County, and Towson and Catonsville in Baltimore County. We're seeing these. Now, well-priced homes, yeah, they still move relatively quickly, and overpriced homes still sit. So what that means for you, that shift in the market is important if you're a home buyer, right? You should know what to expect, and you should know that you're going to have a little bit of leverage in this market. The next thing we're going to chat about, let's talk about what's actually happening with interest rates. Over the past 3 years or so, rates have been the biggest psychological factor for buyers. Really, if you think about having to get an interest rate that's in the 7%, that can be really difficult to stomach. The great news is we're starting to see some relief as compared to the peak highs. As a matter of fact, this week, the rates have been the lowest that they've been in the past 3 years. That is really good news for buyers. Now, here's what most buyers don't realize. There was a saying that was pandered around, marry the house, date the rate. And really and truly, that is a true sentiment. When you marry the house, you marry the house. You don't marry the interest rate. Rates can be refinanced. Your purchase price cannot. So the price that you're paying for the house today will not go up, even if your rate goes down. So the real question really isn't, are the rates perfect? The real question is this the least competitive window we're going to see, in which a buyer has an advantage? Now, we know this whole process can actually feel a lot overwhelming for you. So in order to help you, we're offering a free copy of our Home Buyer's Guide to anyone that comments the word buying. So just comment in the comment section the word buying, B-U-Y-I-N-G, and we'll send you a free copy of our Home Buyer's Guide filled with great information for anyone looking to buy a home right here in Central Maryland. The third thing that I want to talk about today is why this market favors smart buyers. So folks, right now, buyers have something they didn't have 2 to 3 years ago, and that is leverage. We are seeing seller concessions, inspection negotiations, closing cost help, and price reductions. These are all things that we didn't see 3 years ago during the height of the market. Especially things like Baltimore City row homes, some suburban communities where sellers have overreached on their pricing, and homes that potentially need some cosmetic update. For first-time home buyers, this is a huge opportunity. If you're a buyer who's relocating to Maryland, the great news is, for you, this is an awesome opportunity because you actually have time to visit Maryland, to compare neighborhoods and to think strategically with us about putting together an offer that works best for you. This was not possible 3 years ago during the height of the market. The fourth thing I want to talk about is, when does it not make sense to buy a home here in Maryland? And folks, I want you to hear me say something really important, because there are certain times when it is not a good idea to buy a home here. So, the first thing, if you're stretching your budget uncomfortably, yes, unfortunately, Maryland does have a little bit of a higher cost of living as compared to some states around us. So, if in order to buy a home here, you're stretching your budget uncomfortably, it's not a good time to buy a home. If you plan on moving again in 1 to 2 years, it's not a good time to buy a home. And number 3, if you're buying a home out of fear, it is not a good time to buy a home. But if you plan on living here in Maryland for 4 to 5 plus years, you're in a financially stable situation, you want to start buying a home to be able to build equity in that home, or you're relocating here for long-term reasons, then this current Central Maryland market can actually be a really smart entry point for you. Now let's talk about some things kind of local to the Maryland area. So if you're moving here from out of state, especially places like Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, New York, some parts of Pennsylvania, Central Maryland often can feel more affordable. If you're moving here from other places, you're going to notice that maybe it's a little bit less affordable. And each area here has some different things. So, Howard County, for example, offers some top-rated schools. Anne Arundel County offers you proximity to water and the city of Annapolis. Baltimore County, you can get space and value, and Baltimore City can offer you character and walkability. The key here isn't timing the market perfectly. It's choosing the appropriate area for your lifestyle, and that's what's really important. So, is now a good time to buy a home here in Central Maryland? For many buyers, the answer is yes, if you move strategically. If you're relocating or buying your first home and want a game plan tailored to you, I would love to help you. Reach out, send me a message, or if you look down in the comments section, there's actually a link where you can schedule a pressure-free call with us to just help you come up with a strategy. And don't forget, comment the word buying for a free copy of our home buyer's guide that's filled with great information about buying a home right here in Central Maryland. So folks, if this video was helpful, do us a favor and please like our video and subscribe to our channel. We post weekly updates about buying and selling homes here in Maryland, as well as Central Maryland lifestyle. So guys, I hope this video was helpful, and as I always say, I'm Jeremy Weiss with the Helpers Group, and as we always say, how can we help? We'll see you in the next video.